good evening, Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope, as well as our other streaming outlets. Well, this is the last broadcast that I will be having off of this computer. Yeah, off of this computer. So I have to do some reshuffling around here, Dwayne Morris. But tonight we're going to talk about divisional playoff games, rumors, and we have a special performance tonight. We're going to call this segment of the show called Dwayne's Rant.
Oh yeah.
And it is the reason why we started this show. This guy called early this morning and said, "We have to do a show. I am fired up."
Fired up, man.
And without further ado, we got Brother Walker here. And
Good evening, everybody.
we're just gonna let Dwayne go, man. Dwayne Rant could be the first segment of the show.
Okay.
Bro, you gotta shape up. I like it. All right,
Oh,
listen,
thank you.
listen. The Atlanta Falcons have hired some guy named Arthur Smith. Not to be confused with Arthur Treacher's. And y'all know what that was back in the day. Arthur Smith, why can't Eric Bieniemy get a job? Okay? I'm tired of it. This is the second coaching cycle. There's going to be 7 coaches hired this year. And you know who Detroit said their favorite is today?
Who?
Dan Campbell.
Oh yeah.
The former Giant and Cowboy.
The Giant and Cowboy that's now with the Saints. He don't call nothing. Okay? The Eagles is talking about Mike Kafka, who used to be a quarterback for them, who's now the quarterback coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, meaning he worked for Eric Bieniemy. Okay? This is getting ridiculous. I don't want to hear, Andy Reid calls the plays. Joe Judge was a special teams coach. And God bless Coach Shala at the Jets, first Muslim American to get a head coaching job. Kudos. But if Eric Bieniemy does not get a job this year, the NFL is full of crap. The Rooney Rule, full of crap. They even trying to give teams compensation for hiring minorities, and they still ain't hiring them.
Yeah, that's true.
This league is 70.4% African American. We need some African Americans in power positions. Kudos to the Lions for hiring an African American GM. But you mean to tell me, after what happened with the Atlanta Falcons, the first 2 games of this season, Raheem Morris settled the ship and he still couldn't get the job? Come on, man. We got to do better. Do better. Now, listen. Somebody asked me, why do I still support it? Because I love the game. And 70.4% of the players are African American. I just want better for these coaches, man. Why can't Eric Bieniemy get a job? Can you two explain it to me? I'll wait. Y'all go ahead. The floor is yours.
I don't know why he can't get a job. You know, they always say, well, he don't interview. I don't understand what is the man supposed to say in an interview. I don't know.
Quentin Ford? Cat's got your tongue?
The only thing that I could say is that not only to add fuel to the fire is that Atlanta does not need an offensive coach. They've had 4 offensive coordinators in the last 4 years under Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn gets fired and gets rehired by the Cowboys to be their defensive coordinator. Along with Atlanta having a worse secondary statistically than the Cowboys, their secondary coach gets hired in Dallas as well. Then Raheem Morris, as you say, settles the ship. And Bieniemy has basically led the Chiefs' offense the last 3 years with the coach and the quarterback. And he's not only not getting hired, he's getting interviewed for jobs where he really can't succeed. Now, he interviewed with every team, and there's no reason why a team like San Diego should not hire him. Well, not San Diego, Los Angeles Chargers, excuse me. There's no reason why Atlanta went with this offensive coach whatsoever. What are they going to turn into the Titans? Not with those receivers. They'll never be a running team with those receivers.
No.
It's not going to happen.
No.
Their offensive line is in the future with 5 first rounders. They've been drafting defense players. They don't play, as I like to say, they don't play complementary football. So Arthur Smith, I think it might. I think Arthur Blank might have went with the mixture of names. He went with Mike Smith last name and his first name. So I think he just said, "I like the name combination Arthur Smith." So let me hire this guy.
Did
But
he hire him because Arthur Smith daddy is like the CEO of FedEx? Is that why?
I mean, it's,
Huh?
it, I don't get it. Like even coaches who coach in the NFL, they don't even get an opportunity to come back and coach again. Like, and, and you're not giving this guy a chance. I just don't understand.
What's really sad about it is not only we always could look at okay, Eric Bieniemy interviewed for these jobs, and he didn't get a coaching job in the NFL. But we got to be mindful. A coach is a coach. He's not even getting these big college programs that's coming out looking for coaches saying, "Yo, would you
Well,
mind coming? Would you mind coming?"
gotta be careful about that though.
No, I'm just saying
No, no,
it's
because
the thought that counts.
Colorado wanted to interview him last year, and he said he's an NFL coach, not a college coach. So Colorado did want to give him an opportunity to have their head coaching job, and he turned that down. Which I get it. Not to switch sports, but Patrick Ewing was an NBA assistant for 13 years. Never got a chance. And he came to Georgetown, and it's been an abject failure because he's not a college coach. He's an NBA coach, but he wasn't getting any opportunities in the NBA.
Well, as our resident assistant coach said last week, he was a better coach. We got better players, right?
Right.
I don't understand what's going on with the enemy.
So
It's an amazing thing. Like even with the Steelers, and we love Mike Tomlin. We love him. Mike Tomlin, great coach. We gave him a lot of credit last year. Mike Tomlin don't even got control over his assistants.
no.
He's basically what I call and the league calls a walk around coach who's just a game manager. And
He's a
it's really what'd you say, Dwayne?
he's a CEO. That's all.
Yeah. And it's kind of sad because they ain't even giving the enemy that opportunity. If you don't trust him, man, just give him that opportunity.
My point is this: the man has been a offensive coordinator. If you want to say he ain't calling plays, okay, whatever. Dan Campbell's a tight end coach. He's a tight end coach.
So Dwayne, let me ask you. It's obvious because me and you discussed this the other day, and we kind of said that because Peterson got done dirty, would Andy co-sign the Eagles coming back to his staff? So obviously, if they're looking at his quarterback coach, obviously Bieniemy's on the table, and Andy's not going to try to be like, no, don't mess with them.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of hoping Eric Bieniemy gets a chance to get the Los Angeles Chargers. I think he could be successful there. Now, listen, you're gonna take any job you can get. I'd rather not see him go to Houston. Houston is in salary cap hell, and they have no draft pick, and they got a disgruntled Deshaun Watson. It's not a place where you could have success. But you got four openings. You got four openings. Really three, because it sounds like the Lions want Dan Campbell. So that would leave you with the Chargers, the Texans, and the Eagles. What's the chance of him really getting any of those jobs?
And the Texans is the worst of all those jobs.
The Eagles
Except,
ain't that, the Eagles ain't that far away either.
at least they got some draft picks.
They're salary cap hell too.
They in salary cap hell too, and you got to come in there and you got to unite a bunch of cats in Philadelphia who basically the owner chose the quarterback over the coach, and they don't like, and the players are not fond of the quarterback.
He sure ain't.
So now he's got to go in there. If he was to get the job, he might have to go in there, and he's not going to throw his friend. Doug Peterson's his friend as well.
Right.
So now he's got to work with a quarterback that his friend, who he's worked with before, and he knows couldn't work with him. It's a strange situation, and you're right, Dwayne. At the end of the day, Bieniemy should have got one of those jobs. Basically, he should have got the Charger job by now. Like, what is they waiting for? I know the Spanos family is a little crazy, and I know that if you go back to the Eli thing, why they didn't want to work with them, but ain't no excuse, man.
No, it's not. It's not at all. Like this is ridiculous, man.
I don't get it. I'm upset. Yeah, I'm ranting about it. And if he goes another cycle without getting a head coaching gig, the NFL got some explaining to do.
They do, especially if I read somewhere as to they gave I don't know what team they gave them compensatory picks because they got females on their staff. If I'm not mistaken, right?
The Lions got compensatory picks because they hired a black GM.
Right. So
And it's funny. It's funny because
Now
I
let me
remember when they
say
talked
that.
about that, and people was like, "That's weird. Why would you reward somebody for hiring a minority?" And I don't think that the Lions actually hired him just because he was a minority. I think he's qualified. But it's
right,
just crazy that you have to put these practices in just to stop the quote unquote nepotism.
Casey,
right,
there's no reason they should be getting compensation for doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Do
right.
that. But I know we ain't gonna stay in the rant. We're gonna pick all 4 of these games this weekend.
Right.
Okay? Let me ask you guys a question.
Hmm.
Divisional playoffs. Historically, this is the best weekend of the season. Do you think Saturday slate is better than Sunday slate this weekend?
No.
You
You
don't?
don't?
I think the Saturday games are better.
No. Well, I do think I'm glad you brought that up, Dwayne, because it is considered the greatest football weekend, as they say. I actually think last week upstaged what they had going this week.
Oh, I agree.
Last week, those 6 games was like perfect for a football fan. Excellent. 12 hours, you're in the house, COVID, sit on your couch, eat wings, drink beer, use the bathroom.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's funny you say that because everybody that I spoke to loved last weekend. They
It's
loved the fact
NFL,
that they
NFL
got six
steps
games,
to it, man.
and it actually set them up for this weekend because people are talking the same thing. They're gonna cook some wings, get some beer, and watch football. That's all. That's all they
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah,
Bring back the slime. Bring
yeah.
back the slime.
And that's another thing they did that was genius. Um, the Nickelodeon game. That was a genius move by the NFL.
I gotta
Hmm.
be honest with you guys. I think Saturday's 2 games is better than Sunday's 2 games. I think the Saturday slate is better than the Sunday slate. I mean, I'm not all excited about Saints Bucks. Not me. Um,
I
I
think
think
I think I think that game is more of a game for the marketing aspect of the game. But if you watch those 2 games this year, the Bucks actually don't stand a chance. If you look
no,
at the game, they don't stand a chance against the Saints
no.
because whenever Brady gets pressured by that line,
Right.
Listen, the
he
NFL,
start doing what he do, throwing picks, getting sacked, hand footsteps, everything.
and I know to me the NFC is chalk. I think you're gonna have the 1 seeds and the 2 seeds moving on. Um, the AFC, I think the games are gonna be more competitive. Like I don't think the Chiefs is just gonna blow the Browns out. Not the way the Browns play football offensively. They can control the clock. They can keep that Chiefs offense on the sidelines, man.
Ice, ice, ice swallow come. You love Dwayne's analyst. Big up, man. Appreciate you for watching the show. Glad you found the channel. We don't know who you
Yeah,
are, but we're glad you found the channel. Make
yeah,
sure
bro.
you like and subscribe.
Keep
Uh,
like,
we do a football show at least minimum once a week. We actually don't schedule when we're gonna do our football shows, but we got a bunch of other shows with the channel. But I just say that just try to catch us when you can when we do our football show. We're gonna do at least once a week and probably twice a week from here and probably till next football season, at least once a week. We're
okay,
gonna
let's
try.
do it.
We're gonna try to.
Let's do it. All right. So we got the Los Angeles Rams going to Green Bay. Um, Jared Goff will be playing. Wolford is out, so Jared Goff will be playing. Blake Bortles will be his backup.
Hmm.
Um, man, I'm so excited. I've been thinking about it all week. This Jalen Ramsey versus Devontae Adams matchup. Um, I'm so intrigued by this matchup, man. If they let Jalen Ramsey be physical, I think he wins this matchup. Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. I'm a little worried about the Rams offense. The Rams offense was not good last week, folks. It just wasn't. They scored a defensive touchdown. But man, oh man, oh man. That Rams defense. Woo! That defense is balling. And I was wrong last week. I went 4-2 in my picks last week. Not only was I wrong in picking Seattle, I was wrong in thinking the game was going to be a blowout. It turned out to be a blowout the other way if you really look at it. Russell Wilson couldn't even breathe, man.
Right.
He couldn't even breathe. But with all that said, I'm going with Green Bay 24-13. Green Bay. I think Aaron Rodgers gets it done at home. I think the Rams is going to play them very, very tough, but the Rams just don't have no offense, man. Jared Goff can't throw. He got 3 pins in his hand.
And plus, it's supposed to be. And plus, I wish Goff was healthy because this would be a damn good football game.
Yeah.
With the way the Rams run their offense, a lot of misdirection, a lot of and they're running the ball very well with Akers too. So it would have been. It would. I just think with the cold in his hand, I don't think he's going to be able to be accurate. So that's I think the defense is going to hold them in the game though, because their defense is tough. But I think at the end Green Bay is going to be a little bit too much just because of Goff's hand and the weather. He's not going to be able to be accurate. So I'll pick Green Bay. I think Green Bay is going to win 27 to maybe 17.
Wow, I'm gonna go the opposite direction here.
Okay.
I'm gonna actually pick the Rams because of their defense and because of the familiarity with the coach with Green Bay's offense. That's LaFleur's offense. LaFleur learned from McVay, and I think one of the things that McVay has done is he realizes his quarterback's not 100%, so he has no problem running the football with these misdirections. I think Akers continues to play well. And put up big numbers. I really like him as a running back, and I think that Goff will throw what he's supposed to throw every game, 15 to 20 times a game, a bunch of misdirection stuff. Cooper Cuff underneath after he done chip blocked the opposite defensive end 10 times. Now all of a sudden he leaks and the linebacker forgets about him. It's the same thing. The Rams, Dwayne always says when you don't have a quarterback, you use pee-wee plays. That's what the Rams use on professional players. They use pee-wee plays, a bunch of misdirection to get you looking that way, but the ball that way. Oh, it's that way again. You just seen the run action. It's amazing because no matter where the ball is, the players still run the misdirection like it's being ran the opposite way.
Right.
And so I caught in the cookie jar.
Yeah. So I think that the Smith brothers, as they call them, is going to have their hands full dealing with what they like to do, and I just think that the mystique of that Green Bay Lambeau, as long as you got a defense and you can run the football, you can go up there and win. So I'm gonna take the Rams 27-17.
Okay.
You think they're going to be able to score 27? You think they'll get some points with their defense? Huh?
They definitely with that defense right now.
Yeah,
because it's ironic, Dwayne. They're throwing and you see it happen a lot when you start throwing at a decent corner to avoid the great corner. That decent corner shows you it ain't sweet over here.
It ain't sweet.
And I'm gonna tell you another thing. Green Bay better block Leonard Floyd because he's having a hell of a year.
Yeah, of course you're going to talk about the Georgia boy. Yes,
yeah, he's having a great year. So, that's another thing to look out for. You can't block everybody on that line, but you got to block 2 people. That's Donald and him. That's for sure.
Yeah, man. I'm just going to be interested to see how physical they allow Jalen Ramsey to be with Adams. Because Ramsey's physical, man. He's the most physical corner in the game right now.
But it's the one thing that we noticed is that a lot of people will be under the guise that they run a lot of Jalen Ramsey and everybody else.
Right.
They run too high safety. He's just physical, so it is sometimes looking man and it's sometimes looking cover two. But
Right.
they basically allow Ramsey to be so physical. Time he beats you up at that line of scrimmage, your receiver don't even want to run a route. So, like Dwayne said, if he follows Adams, you talk about marquee. Sometimes it's the quarterbacks, but this time it's the receiver
Hold
and
on.
the.
No. Take that IF out your vocabulary, brother.
Oh,
What?
They
oh,
Arno
it
Arno
it
all
is.
day tomorrow.
Yeah, it won't even be the quarterbacks. It'll be the receiver and Adams.
And as Quinn and Craig know, I love my favorite thing to watch in NFL is cornerback play. So I'm gonna be so tuned into that game, man. I'm excited. Can't wait, man. First game of the day, you know. So then we move to the second game tomorrow. The Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens, man. Hey, man, the Ravens went into Tennessee and they came out and they did what they had to do. Lamar rushed for over 100. He threw for over 100. Defense played well. Hey, man, whatchamacallit showed up to be a good offseason addition, right? Calais Campbell was brought in to do what he did last week.
Right.
Run stuffer. They stuffed Derrick Henry last week.
Right.
Man, Craig Walker told us early. He told us early in this season about Buffalo, man.
Yeah.
He was right. He told us, man, and Josh Adams. But I want Josh Adams to be very careful this week. Like you got to do what got you here, and his feet is a big part of their game. But that Raven defense will hit you.
Right.
But I like Buffalo in this game. I like Buffalo in this game. I like them to win this one 24-10. I just don't know if Lamar already talking about he'd rather not play in the snow. It's supposed to be lake effect snows tomorrow. So
Yeah.
he better
But
bundle up and buckle that chin strap.
for me, this game's gonna boil down to this: can Lamar make enough plays in the passing game, and can Buffalo run the ball?
Yeah.
If Lamar can make enough plays in the passing game, because they're gonna run the ball, that's gonna be. But the Bills have to let their running backs run the ball.
Well,
Have him drop back. Because me and Dwayne watched the game last week against the Colts. You ran for a first down with 4 minutes to go. Colts had one timeout. And they proceed to drop back and fumbled the ball, lost 23 yards, and almost lost that game.
Yeah, I was frustrated.
You have these. Go ahead.
I think, surprisingly, who they picked up at the beginning of the week may wind up having a big game for Buffalo. Buffalo picked up Devontae Freeman. They picked him up off the scrap heap because Zach Moss is hurt.
Right.
You'll have Freeman and you'll have Singletary, and we'll see what it does, man. Like, it's. I don't know. I'm looking forward to this one, though. It's something about this game that's really intriguing me that I think it's my favorite game of the weekend.
And I'm gonna tell you something else. Me and Q talked about this before you came on. Baltimore.
Since the beginning, sir.
No, we talk about before, like
don't
when
give
we
up
was on
pre-show stuff, man. No,
so listen. Baltimore, it plays complementary football. They're the only team that has a strong defense. They run that ball and play to their talent on offense, and they have good special teams.
They do.
So Baltimore, I've been Buffalo all the way. I'm going to pick them to win, but it wouldn't surprise me if Baltimore wins this game because they play to their strength. They play to their strengths, and so I'm going to say Buffalo 24-21. 24-21 Buffalo.
No one circles the wagon like the Buffalo Bills.
This pick will be hard for me because I have a Baltimore fan in my household. He is the biggest Baltimore fan. My boy loves the Ravens. And I always mess with him and say, "Damn, you seen your team win 2 championships
Go
already."
ahead.
Um, I gotta pick Buffalo,
Mm.
and the reason why I gotta pick Buffalo is right now, probably the last 4 weeks of the regular season and in the playoffs, no receiver is playing better than Stephon Diggs.
No.
Yeah,
What he's doing is he's making good corners look bad. And when
right,
you start doing that, that means you in your zone. You running the whole route tree, and y'all just got a connection. Sometimes receivers and quarterbacks get in that zone where you just can't stop them. And I haven't seen that type of zone since, to be honest with you, Antonio Brown and Ben Roethlisberger when they was rocking and rolling.
right,
So I have to pick Buffalo. Buffalo is a tricky team because if Buffalo gets lackadaisical on defense and worry about Lamar, a lot of people don't realize Baltimore do got excellent receivers.
Yes, they do.
It's just a matter if Lamar can make the throws. So I think that Buffalo has a spy for Lamar because they're not going to let Lamar beat them.
right.
And I just think that Baltimore just is not going to have enough to beat Buffalo. Buffalo has excellent receivers, and they can basically lock them guys up man to man and just rush them. But if you want defense, know that these two defensive coordinators, Leslie Frazier and the other guy, are really good at what they do. So look for the second options. Whatever's the strength of his teams, look for the second option because
Yes.
nobody's gonna let Lamar beat him. And Allen on his feet is a problem.
Yeah.
Listen, don't disrespect the game show host by not knowing his name. It's Wink Martindale down there.
All right.
Sounds like a game show host. That's the defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
But let me ask y'all a
Baltimore done
question.
had Baltimore done had celebrity defensive coordinators since their inception. Every D coordinator ever had went on to become a head coach.
This is true.
That's true. But let me ask y'all a question. If you Baltimore, do you double Stephon?
You can't.
Hard because they got Killer Cole in that slot.
And remember, you got Cole in the slot, and remember one of the other signings that they made towards the end of the
Davis.
year, Kenny Stills.
And they got Davis too, the
They got
rookie from
Davis.
Central Florida.
Gonna be
Yeah.
hard to double Diggs. But
See, Cole
shout out to
Cole will destroy them.
as a Cowboy fan, shout out to Stephon Diggs because our guy, Trayvon Diggs, gets to go up against the best there is in the offseason. So shout out Stephon Diggs. Thank you for making your baby bro even that much better for the team with the star in their helmet.
So I'm gonna take definitely. I'm gonna take Buffalo in a
Okay.
route,
Oh, in a route.
31-20.
Ooh.
That's not really a route, though. That's still 11.
It's a lot of points for Baltimore to give up.
Yeah.
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 All right. Well, Saturday night. Okay. I think Saturday night's going to be great, man. So then we move to Sunday. Sunday early, you have the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Cleveland Browns. Now, listen, man. Y'all two clowns love this Bill Callahan guy. I don't know if he's back from COVID-19 just yet. Bill Callahan, Bill Callahan, Bill Callahan. You would think he was the greatest coach since Vince Lombardi. You seal it here, you seal it here, and then you have the alley here. Listen, Kareem Hunt, and Nick Chubb, there's no better 1-2 combination. Okay, there's no better 1-2 combination. Okay, you heard it here first. Upset special. Cleveland goes into Kansas City and they win. I'm going with the Browns in the big upset. Cleveland 31, Kansas City 27. Let's go, Browns. Let's go.
Oh man. For me, it's whose defense can slow down the other team's offense. I'm gonna say Kansas City 30-27. Um, I think it's gonna be one of those situations where Kansas City gonna have the ball last, and he gonna get them down there for a game-winning field goal.
Now remember, folks, this Kansas City team was down 24-0 last year against the Texans.
Right.
So they give up points now.
So
They give up points.
I'm gonna go because I'm telling you right now, the Browns gonna miss Olivier Vernon Sunday. They're gonna miss him. They're gonna miss him. So they could focus more on what's his name, the other defensive end,
Miles Garrett.
Miles Garrett. They're gonna help him. Whereas if they would have had Vernon, they can't. They got to pick and choose. They couldn't probably help. But I'm gonna go with Kansas City 30-27.
Well, I guess I'm the tiebreaker with this one, huh?
Yeah.
The Cleveland Browns pull off the upset.
Let's go.
The Cleveland Browns will run down their throat. They may legitimately have 200 yards rushing. They are going to try to run down their throat. The best defense for Patty Mahomes is him on the sideline.
Right.
They're going to try to run it down. Cleveland, if Cleveland gets up 14, I know that the Chiefs can come back. I'm quite sure. But they're going to continue run, run, run. You may legitimately see Hunt and Chubb both have 20 carries apiece. So I got Cleveland with the upset. I just believe, Lynn, as they would say, I just believe that they're going to beat them.
I like
I
that.
just yeah, to believe Lynn. That's the start when the
like
Cavs
that.
won. I just think that that team, what they did last week, playing for those players, playing for their head coach who wasn't there, who's possibly he probably be coach of the year. I think Cleveland's ride doesn't end, and I think that the Chiefs are a little rusty. They showed some things towards the end of the year that I think they could be got. And I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm not taking shots. He's a
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl winning coach. Andy Reid has never been the best game manager.
Yeah, because they
His
don't run the
time
ball.
his time in game management has been suspect, and I think that right now he's going up against a good young coaching staff outside of the great Bill Callahan,
I'll tell you
and
something.
I think it's going to be interesting. So I'm going to take the Browns.
I go back to the late 70s and early 80s with you two. It's a long time. So I have to give credit where credit is due. You guys told me about Bill Callahan, and you told me about the offense, and you told me how the running game is. And I'm still a little quote from my boy, man Quentin both really enjoy this guy every week. Brian Baldinger, he has nicknamed the Cleveland Brown offense of line and their tight ends the Union, because all they do is put their hard hats on and come to work. He calls them the Union. All right. He says it's the best offensive line in the game. So I believe they're going to ride that offensive line, and they're going to ride those two studs. They got two studs in the backfield.
And they got two stud tight ends that a lot of people don't talk about.
Right.
Yeah,
A Joker Hooper is a problem.
yeah,
And then they got the rookie tight end that's coming along too.
yes. And then you got my boy, DPJ, Donovan People Jones, number 11, but number 1 in my heart, the Michigan man. And you got Juice Landry out there. And you got the other kid, Higgins.
One thing that the staff did well is
Watch.
they understand their roster, and it goes back to what Craig said, the complementary football, and the coach realizes that I don't need that Baker Mayfield from Oklahoma throwing the ball 30 times a game.
Nope.
We just run and play a lot of play action and a lot of rollouts. And I think Cleveland gets them, guys.
Yes. All right. So the nightcapper, I myself am not going to spend a lot of time on this nightcapper. This will be the worst game of the weekend. Okay? It will be the worst game of the weekend. You heard it here first. They want to keep putting the NFL is smart, but they missed the boat a little bit too. It's a couple of games that should have been in prime time that wasn't in prime time. I get it. They want the Grandpa Bowl. They want Brady versus Breeze in front of the nation. I got horns going. I don't know what's going on with my
This guy's
producer,
getting phone calls during the broadcast.
but that's my fault. I'm sorry. I'm a busy man. But anyway, I like the Saints in this game. I'm gonna go New Orleans. I don't think the game is gonna be good, but I'll tell you who is good. This damn MJ Acosta Ruiz, Lordy, got a leopard print dress on right now on NFL Total Access.
Brother Walker, I had to mute him. Brother Walker, I had to mute him.
Listen, I'm gonna say Tampa Bay gonna win. I think the third time's a charm. I think Antonio Brown's gonna have a big game Sunday.
You think the Saints gonna win though?
I think Tampa Bay gonna win.
He's picking Tampa Bay. I'm picking the Saints 34-20.
I'm picking Tampa Bay 27-24.
I thought about this game, and I said, what better game where two styles contrast? I'm gonna pick the Saints. And the reason why is the Saints are one of those teams that don't have to manufacture pressure. Them boys up front for the Saints is really underrated the last couple of years. And them getting Malcolm Jenkins kind of solidifies their secondary. And I think that it allows him to roam around back there. So I think the Saints will put just enough up because, the key is the boy, man. The guy, I don't know if he's a running back. I don't know if he's a receiver. He's just a player, man. And it's going to be hard for Tampa Bay to contain Kamario. It's going, for some reason, he just matches up with certain teams well. And that just happens to be the team. I'm not worried about the receiver for the Saints no more. He had a bad year.
Oh.
So
Thomas.
Yeah, Thomas had a bad year.
He's been hurt.
That's what I mean. He been hurt. He hasn't really been there. So I don't think he's a threat. I just think that Brady's gonna mess around. And for some reason, Lattimore always had these big games. In big games, he has good games. Lattimore for some reason. So I'm gonna pick the Saints. And, I just think that it's Brady getting off that spot, man. They're gonna be coming.
All right, Q, wrap it up. Tell us who picked what. Give us a quick recap. You got it written down. 4 games.
No, I did not write it down, sir.
First game again. We're gonna go through it again.
The first game, you guys picked the Packers. I picked the Rams.
Okay, so it's for the Packers, 1 for the Rams.
The second game,
night game,
Saturday, we all picked Buffalo.
We all picked the early game Sunday.
Me and you picked the Bears.
The Browns.
Yeah, the Browns. This is the Bears. No, the Bears is at my bad.
And I picked the Chiefs.
In the last game, me and you picked the Saints, and Craig picked
Tampa Bay.
Well, this is great, people, because you never want all your guests and hosts to be chalk. So we're going to give it to you. You know what I mean? And you don't have to listen to us. Like last week, I had somebody come on and lambaste me with my picks. Oh, you're way off. You're crazy. I went 4-2, Joker. Right? And one was a close game. Only missed on 1 game. Now I got to sit here and turn on this beautiful NFL network and see a picture of Arthur Smith hovering over the skyline of Black Hollywood. It doesn't add up. Black Hollywood needed Raheem Morris or Eric Bieniemy, not Arthur Treacher Smith to FedEx throne. Do better, NFL. Let me not say we. I was about to say we. The Democrats just captured Georgia, and you're giving us Arthur Smith as the coach? The Democrats just delivered
Q, what's wrong with him, Q?
With
Q
that,
was
we're gonna close the show. Great for everybody to join us on the divisional playoff weekend. We'll probably come back before the weekend is out. The weekend is out and discuss these games, discuss more NFL rumors. With that, have a blessed night and stay safe.